Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to Two Dummies That Just Watch, a sports podcast between friends. This is episode number 83, and our first episode of 2026. I am one of your hosts, Will Hernandez, and we are here with the Avengers crew to start off the new year. First off, I will welcome Mr. Eric Pimentel, rocking his Giants hat for whatever reason. Sir, what is going on today? How are you? How's your Happy New Year, bitch? What's going on?
New year, new me, as Lee J likes to say.
By the way, for everybody following us on Instagram, you should go take a look at the last post from last week. So
All good, man. All good on my end.
cool. And of course, rocking the Seahawks hat, Mr. Lee J. Perilla. Sir, what is going on? How's everything going? Happy New
Yeah, baby,
Year.
we're back like mono at a high school prom.
Oh, jeez.
Let's go.
I was going to ask you guys how your New Year's was, but I knew you guys were both home. So,
Yeah, I'm
I don't-
sleeping.
I don't leave that day. Too many maniacs in the street.
Yeah, you're outside on that day, you're asking for trouble.
yeah, I did get invited to my sister's, but nah, I'm good.
No comment.
Sir, that's not nice. That's not very nice. By the way, I thought you would like to know that they put out this the New York City Department of Transportation put out this whole thing about the congestion pricing and how we have cleaner air.
Oh,
more people
I'm
are
so happy.
taking-
I'm so happy that I'm so happy you brought that up.
Oh, okay. What do you got for a start here?
Keep talking.
Okay.
I want to. Oh, anyway, go ahead.
Yes.
Keep
Okay.
going.
No, I was just gonna say
Just real quick.
they put out this whole thing about cleaner air and more people are taking the subways and there's less traffic, which is complete bullshit. Because if people remember from a few weeks back, I was talking about how I went to the St. John's game. It was early December, and I met Caesar, who was
Hold
a
on, real
friend-
quick,
Yes,
Will.
Yes.
So I see Eric looking. So I sent a number to you guys on Instagram. Once you finish talking,
Okay. I'll take a look. Yes.
we'll go from there. Once you look at the number.
Okay, and I mentioned on the show how I had never seen so much traffic in the city during the holidays in my life. And I'm somebody who lived in the city for 20 plus years. I obviously went away and came back a couple of times, and I never seen as much traffic. So for them to put out this information, now I'm going to look to see what Lee J just sent me.
What's that number? I sent it
Okay,
to
so
our
the
chat.
number is 25,789,000.
Mm,
Sir, do you want to explain to us what this number represents? If you
100%.
can, please.
The propaganda. So that number, they're telling us, you know what that number is? That's how many less cars have driven in the congestion zone since January 5th,
Get the hell
2025.
No way.
Bro, you know when you usually meet me by my job,
Yes.
that mall?
Yes.
There's a bus stop there. And I don't know if when you've come into the city, how you've been paying attention, but now they have a lot of these electronic billboards.
Yes, they do.
So there's a bus stop right in front of the mall there on the corner.
Okay.
That's where I saw this sign. I just stood there and I'm just looking at the sky and I'm just like, number one. It could be a dodo bird question. I don't know. How do we keep track of this from the previous years to say that's where we're at and that's the exact number?
That's a great question. I do not know.
Number two question. How do we know they're not repeat cars if that's the same number, if that's the exact number?
Mm-hmm. That's a good legit
This is
question.
more to you as opposed to Eric, but Eric's not an idiot.
Yeah.
He's lived here before. He understands what's going on here. You get what I'm saying? So that's irrelevant. He's tasted it. He smelled it. He's been here. Where is this number coming from?
I will tell you one thing. That post that I saw on Facebook before we hopped on about the Department of the Transportation spewing out all this stuff. You read every comment, everybody calls bullshit. Nobody's
It's all
buying
this
this.
bullshit. No one's buying this shit. Like, how did you come up with this number? These numbers weren't previously being recorded, and if they were, how? That means there's definitely eye in the sky because there's nowhere
Oh,
else.
yeah.
How how this is being tracked, and more people taking the train. It's bro, come on, man. I take the train every day, and I associate the train with this. This is I'm stereotyping, and it's has a lot to do with the neighborhood you live in and the race. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is what it is. There's certain people that can't afford to drive into the city or wherever they work, so they take the train.
Right.
These are the neighborhoods where you may see the train that's more crowded. You see these trains in those trains are empty. They're driving into work. I got, 75-80% of my coworkers drive into work, no matter where they're coming from.
That's insane to me.
No matter where they're coming from.
That's insane.
They say to me they rather pay congestion pricing than take the train. Like I told you the other day on 125, one guy was smoking crack, another guy was shooting up heroin. But that's really safe.
Yeah, very safe.
And I'm not here to mock these people. These people have issues, man. They have problems, mental health issues. But don't try to feed me the bullshit when you're not in the heart of it. And you're just making up numbers that don't even make sense. Listen, if they would have said, you would have called me more if they would have said like 25,000. Because even if you're lying, I could believe that.
That's more believable. Yes, it is.
You said 25 million and change. Even Eric said, no way. He was quick to say it. He said, no way.
No way.
Eric, I'm curious. Because you lived here a while ago. You're from here. What do you think when you hear some of this shit? Especially with Lige and I talking about it, because we still, I'm upstate.
Yeah.
But Lige's actually in the actual city. I'm curious, like, what you think about all this stuff.
I'm just glad I'm not there anymore.
That's the best answer.
Honestly, bro, it's like some of the shit that I see you guys talk about, some of the stuff that I see online, it's like that's not the New York I grew up in.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know. I mean, you guys can talk about it more because you're still around here, but it's not the New York I grew up in.
No, it's true. I mean, I think about that all the time, especially not to get like political, but looking at the stuff that this guy wants to do, the mayor, and I'm like, God, I'm glad I don't live down there because it's gonna be like a shit show down there. And I always think this is not how I grew up or what I grew up with, and seeing how the city's changed over the years to what I think is worse. And listen, it's gone up and down, right? We know we were there in the 80s and the 90s when it was bad. And then, say what you want to say about Giuliani, but he did bring it back up. And then from there, it was kind of like uneven, But
you know what's funny? Even though like we grew up in the 80s and the 90s, it seemed to me that there was no like separation like there is now.
Yeah, agreed.
Even there was crime in the 80s. There was, Times Square looked like a disaster in the 80s. The 90s, it started to get better, things like that. But I just see the divide in New York City where it's like, man, it's like everybody hates each other. There's nobody. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. I agree.
We're going somewhere I don't want.
Yeah. We might as well get to sports
because this is when we all know when this started.
Yeah.
It got very dark and cold in my room all of a sudden. I felt very uneasy.
Bro, I mean, listen.
No, listen. You can't. It's like people. Let's say if everybody in the world listens to what we just said, the uproar and comments that would be directed to whatever you just said. But that goes to his point. If one side you don't believe them, and vice versa for the other side, then you don't know shit. Whatever, man. It's just all fucking stupid.
Well, I'll give you guys one example before we move on. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but did you see this whole thing about, and this is the difference between what happens in New York City now versus what happens in New York City, what happened in the city when we were growing up. Did you see this whole thing that there were a bunch of people that gathered at Brooklyn Bridge?
Yes.
Because apparently it was advertised for fireworks, right?
I saw it.
And there was no fireworks show. Let me tell you something. I guarantee you the 90% of the people that showed up to that thing are not from New York.
No.
Because true New Yorkers would not have been out there on New Year's Eve freezing their ass off like that.
Yeah.
You may have a couple like very sprinkled in there, but the majority of those people are tourists, 100%.
That's what I mean, yeah.
True New Yorkers, I've never been in the middle of Times Square in my 48 years of living and said, I want to stand there and watch this ball drop.
Yeah. And I never will.
No, thank you.
I never thought about that once.
Yeah. Well, at least you're saving on trees now that the Metro card is gone.
Another month. Some more BS. I thought congestion pricing was supposed to help us with the MTA. So much for that. You could feed me. You could spew me all the nonsense you want. I know better. You know, real quick too before because I just thought of something else. You want to know what's real criminal? So, as Will knows, I work right by essentially across the street from Central Park, right?
Yes.
So if you're walking towards, let's say Fifth Avenue to the east side, that's Central Park. I guess that's Central Park East.
East, yeah, Central Park East.
Right? So between Broadway and the next block, which is 7th Avenue, it's one block, right? And that's meter parking. So from that corner to the following corner, like I said, from Broadway to 7th, I think that is, you could fit about 15 to 20 cars on that block, just on one side. I'm not talking about both sides. I'm talking about one side, the side of the park. 15 to 20 cars. So I'm walking the other day for lunch, walking around. I just happened to look at this guy that was paying for his meter. And I looked close and I said, there's no way that's what that says. Do you know how much it is to park there? You could park there now from 8. It starts at 8 in the morning all the way till 10 p.m. But you have to pay every 2 hours.
Every 2 hours, yes, right.
Do you know how much that is? Do you know how much that went up to every 2 hours?
So for 1 hour, how much? I mean,
no, there's no. You only could pay in two. You could pay for 1 hour, or the max you could pay is 2 hours at a pop.
So how much is it for 2 hours at a time? Let's see.
I'm gonna say $30.
It's not. No. It's not that high, but it's still outrageous. No. Okay. It's not that high, but it's still outrageous.
I'm gonna say it's $15 for 2 hours.
Bingo.
Get out of here! Really?
On the nose.
Wow.
15
at a meter.
At a meter for 2 hours.
Not even a parking garage.
From 8. That's what? 8 to 8 is 12 hours. It goes to 10 p.m. It's 14 hours. So every 2 hours, you got to pay $15. That's one block, 15 cars. Where's that money?
Dude, you read my mind. I was about to say, can you tell me why the city, I don't live there anymore, why the city is in the shape that it's in? Can you tell me where that money's going?
Make sense. And in that vicinity, there's no alternate side. All that shit is metered parking within a 10 block. And I'm just talking a 10 block radius. It's more than that. There's nowhere in Manhattan. Well, you can, but in that main area, like Midtown and 42nd, that's all metered parking.
Yeah, 10 block area. There's
let's just say 20 cars per block on each side.
Per block.
That's 40
cars times. Shit, man.
If I sat down, I could do the math real quick. The point is, where's all this money going?
That's not to mention all the trucks and stuff that get ticketed.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Bro, my father.
Definitely.
My father was a truck driver in the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. And I remember specifically in the summers when I was out of school, I would work with my father. And when he had to go into the city, it was like a nightmare because, and this is like the 80s we're talking about, into the early 90s. It came a point time that he had to leave me in the truck, or I had to go do the delivery, and he had to wait in the truck because, I mean, the minute you leave, you're getting like a $75 ticket or something.
You're getting hit over the head.
And I remember my father, like he transitioned from driving a truck. So he's like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to go down to a smaller vehicle because I'm getting hit up the head with tickets and stuff like that. And you're talking about early 90s is when he stopped it. And I imagine how worse it is now.
No, you can see. And the thing is, you know how I could tell these people are feeding the meters? Because to Eric's point, there's no tickets on their cars.
Mm-hmm.
And now they make it easier. All you got to do is go to the app. And if you're at the office, you can fill up your meter. Now they check it digitally. You're good. You get no ticket. It's insane how people walk around here with their head up their ass. And there's nothing to be said.
By the way, Luke, I know Luke is listening to this, and he had sent me the video about the rent for that closet in New York City.
Luke, it's all real, brother.
It is very real.
It's all real.
You were talking about the parking situation, and oh my God, it's crazy. It's insane. There's a reason why New York City is one of the most expensive cities in the world to live in. I mean, there you go, right there. Oh God. All right, we're on a fucking roll here. So I want to quickly just go through some quick housekeeping stuff for our listeners. Really quickly here. Just a few things. One, we actually do have a schedule for recording for the first couple of months of the year. I'm trying to be better about making sure that we're more organized, especially knowing that next month Leach is going to be on vacation. So he's going to miss a couple of episodes, but don't worry. We've got you covered because Eric's obviously going to be here and Larry is going to join us for one of those episodes heading into baseball spring training. That's number one. Number two, one of the things we're trying to do more is just to do some extra episodes on the side when the news calls for it. So if the Giants hire a head coach and it happens during the middle of the week, don't be surprised if there is an episode about that comes out like in the middle of the week on a Wednesday or a Thursday. That'll be a thing where it's a combination of us three, and we'll see who's available, and we'll just kind of play it by ear and go from there. But on that note, the week of January 19th, so a couple of weeks from this week, I'm going to do a special episode with Larry to talk about his Hall of Fame ballot. Him and I met for lunch over the break, and him and I talked about a little bit about his ballot, but I wanted to save that conversation for an actual episode. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they announced the Baseball Hall of Fame results on January 20th. So either him and I will hop on that night to talk about it, or do something on the next day. By the way, little inside baseball, Beltran has the inside track to get elected according to the ballots that have been made public. And one last thing for everybody, a little bit of homework, if you can. If you are following us, you subscribe to the podcast and you're following us on Instagram, I just want to ask everybody, if you can, just like the reels that I share on there. The more people that like the reels, the more engagement that we get and the more it shows up on other people's feeds. That's number one. Number two, an even better way to help us is just to tell somebody about the podcast that might be interested in it. And, we can go from there because we are trying to take the next step for the podcast now that we're in a new year. So, just a little bit of housekeeping to get us started. So let's get into the episode. And I wanted to start first because today is Black Monday.
Racist.
And well, I mean, one of the coaches that got fired is black. So anyway, and the reason why I want to start here is because I'm not sure. Well, Eric, I know, and we'll get into this in a little bit, because one of these guys is probably going to be a candidate for the Giants head coaching position. So here are the four guys that got fired today, and I went to go make sure that nobody else got fired. I saw NFL.com; they were showing Todd Bowles' press conference, so he's safe, I guess. So here we go. Here are the four guys: Kevin Stefanski from the Browns, Pete Carroll from the Raiders, Raheem Morris from the Falcons, and Jonathan Gannon from the Cardinals. Eric, I will start with you first, only because of the Atlanta connection, since you're in the area. What's kind of been the temperature of that firing? And does anybody else here surprise you? And I know you have some thoughts on Stefanski as well.
As far as Raheem Morris, I don't think I think the overall feeling is it was coming, even though some people thought he saved his job by winning 4 games in a row.
I think so. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I just think that from what I'm hearing, that I forget the Atlanta owner right now. Arthur Blank. He made up his mind weeks ago about
really?
this.
Okay.
Which is why he was the first one fired last night.
Right, and the GM too, by the way.
Yeah, within 4 hours of the game, he got canned. So I think what it comes down to is the Atlanta Falcons had way too much talent on that team to miss the playoffs, and especially in this division where the winning team 8 games, I think what it was,
Yeah,
made the
8 and 9.
playoffs.
Yeah,
8-9
Yeah,
yeah.
Carolina.
That's crazy, and so I just think, and I text you guys earlier with my patient that originally was Raheem Morris fan.
Yeah.
So as the season went on, he noticed, he's like, yeah, this ain't the guy. After his press conferences and stuff like that, he just didn't sound like a leader of men. And yeah, I spoke to him today, and he's like, yeah, I'm all for it. They got a clean house. From what I'm hearing, Matt Ryan is going to be in on the front office. So
Yeah, I heard about that. Yep.
yeah.
I heard that as well. Your thoughts on Stefanski for potential Giants candidate?
So I think as of right now, I mean, if John Harbaugh gets fired or whatever, he's my leading guy. But Stefanski has to be on that list. Only because, I mean, the guy, he's a 2-time coach of the year. He won a couple. I mean, there were 2 seasons there that he coached really well for Cleveland. And I know it was a disaster. Now, if he had anything to do with that Deshaun Watson signing, then maybe I'll scratch him off the list. But from what I heard, that was more like an owner's thing.
Ownership, yes.
That wanted him. So I think Stefanski, in that disaster of a franchise, did okay. And I think with a good quarterback, I think he'll do well. I'm not saying he'll be the coach, but from the list that I've seen, he's up. He's top 3 on the list.
Lee J, your thoughts on the firing? Is anybody surprised you here? Probably not.
No. If anyone was listening, I told you Raheem was going to be gone. He didn't have to wait till Black Monday.
Right.
I just think that sometimes once you get an interim job and then you get your opportunity and then you have talent, which, to be fair, that just shows you what goes into winning in this sport.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He had the talent, man. He had the talent. Whether they didn't like the quarterbacks or not, they were both competent quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins, and Penix got hurt. Kirk Cousins had to come back in. Whatever the case may be, they had good wide receivers. Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts. I mean, come on, man. You got to win. You got to win. So that one didn't surprise me. I mean, Stefanski, I just have, sometimes I have a hard feeling no matter what they say, they didn't ask this guy about the Watson thing. I have a hard time believing that and him saying yay to that because he was winning with Baker Mayfield.
Right. Yeah.
And then we've seen what Baker Mayfield's done, and we've seen what Cleveland's done after Mayfield's left. And I'm not saying Mayfield was going to win them a Super Bowl or anything like that, but
right. Yeah,
I said it from the beginning. That Deshaun Watson signing was terrible. Yeah. That was a bad move on their part, and here we are. I just think that maybe for him it was more that I think the time just ran out for him. Maybe it was just like they just needed a new voice or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Because I don't really hear anything bad about him.
Yeah, I mean
that he's a good offensive mind and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking that just ran its course.
I mean, just think about the Deshaun Watson disaster. You draft. He didn't want Shedeur Sanders either. They drafted Shedeur Sanders.
Yes, exactly.
So he had to eat that too. So it's like the guy has done a decent job with terrible quarterbacks. They got rid of the only guy that he had success with, Baker Mayfield.
Mm-hmm. I will say one thing about the GM for Atlanta, and you guys both brought it up. I think there was an idea that he maybe should have stayed on because he's the one that got the talent for the team.
Which that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
When Eric texted me back and all
right.
thing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That at least he's the one that got the talent.
Right.
So I don't see how maybe there was just maybe a little bit something more deeper with him. I don't know.
Mm. I got a feeling that Arthur Blank's not a guy you want to be fucking around with. That's just me.
Yeah. No.
It just seems that way that he doesn't take any bullshit. So,
it also could be like, from what I hear, like Atlanta is one of the stadiums that takes care of their fans, like with pricing and stuff like that. Am I
Food
wrong
pricing,
about
yeah.
that?
Yeah, the food pricing. Yeah,
And he's doing is bringing in the fans, and he's like, come on, what are you doing, guys?
yeah. That brand new
Yeah.
stadium downtown.
You know what I mean? Like, what are you guys doing? I'm hiring you guys to do a job, and you're not doing your job.
Right.
I don't want to
One
lose. I don't want to lose the fans.
one thing
Maybe he's
about
thinking like that. I don't know.
one thing about Arthur Blank that I've noticed living here is he's not cheap with his money. Like
Yeah, it doesn't seem that way either.
he's very generous. I mean, they named a children's hospital after him, like right by where I work, because he donated a whole bunch of money. You can see, I mean, you drive by, you see Arthur Blank, whatever hospital, blah blah blah. So yeah, I mean, the guy, he'll spend the money if he thinks you're going to put a good product on the field.
Okay. That's a setup for this next thing here. And Lee J and I did this at the end of last season. And basically, what we did was we put on our GM slash owner hat. In this case, I guess the GM hat because the GMs are staying for each team respectively. I wasn't expecting Moogie to get fired, but we did find out today that Joe Shane is going to keep his job inexplicably. By the way, for anybody who has The Athletic, I highly suggest going to read Dan Duggan's editorial slash article today because he fucking ripped the Giants a new one for keeping on Shane. Anyway, so with that being said, since it's basically 2-1 here, let's go with the Jets first with Lee J. And the three things that you would like to see them do in the offseason. And let me preamble that with the fact that they did finish 3-14 and they are going to have the number 2 pick in the draft coming up in April. That being said, Mr. Perilla, I will turn it over to you about 3 things that this team needs to do in the offseason going into next year.
First, I want to start off with we have to stop with this Aaron Glenn firing stuff.
Yeah, why don't
we talked about this? We talked about this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Listen, let's hypothetically say I agree with everything. Whoever wants him fired, I agree with everything you say of what he did or what he didn't do. Right?
Yes.
I agree with everything you're saying, 100%. So who are you going to bring in here with that same team and win? You don't say no one. Mike McCarthy, Gruden, Belichick. Did you see the players that were on that field? Yeah. It was terrible, man. It was terrible. The guy had nothing. And here's another thing that I've had anyone mention. What's the one, for the most part, the one thing with the Jets that hasn't changed since Aaron Glenn came in from taking it over from Saleh when he got fired 5 games into last year? The players.
Yeah, the players, yeah.
It's essentially the same players. And what do they say? When you bring in a new regime, they want to bring in their guys, whether it be players, coordinators, whoever. So you got, not everyone's man's trash is another man's treasure. Sometimes it's the players. He got to get an opportunity to draft his own guys, sign his own guys, as well as Moogie, because, whatever. And they got to work together. That's all I got to say. To fire this guy, and then who you can, let's say they fire him and bring Mike McCarthy in, right? And keep these same players and get just drafted. What's going to happen next year? Maybe 2 more wins?
Yeah. Maybe. Maybe by coaching alone. Yeah, 2 more wins. Maybe.
It's the same crap.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. My number one thing, draft day.
Yes.
If they're not in love with any one of these quarterbacks, don't draft a quarterback.
Interesting. Okay.
Don't draft. If you don't like any of these guys, don't draft a quarterback. Listen, I watched both of them play. When Mendoza put,
games,
when they beat Alabama, and then when Moore and the Oregon Ducks beat Who did they play? I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, you know, Indiana crushed Alabama,
Mm-hmm.
but Mendoza's numbers weren't great. That was an overall team effort. Moore looked okay. Listen, I'm not a fucking QB evaluator. I'm just trying to say for my team, right? Right now, these are the two top of the draft where people are looking at QBs.
Right.
If you don't love these guys, don't draft them. I'm sorry, man. I can't do this. We can't keep doing this, man. They got to figure something out here. Draft as many good players as you can. You got money too. Try to sign as many good players as you can. And I'd rather them do that and get another quote unquote bridge quarterback, because I think there's rumors now Fields is gone. They're gonna let him go.
Yes, they're gonna let him go. Right. Yep. That's the
Which,
rumor.
you know what? You realize you made a mistake. You got to move on. You got to move on. This kid, I feel like he got his head up his ass or his head in the sand. He doesn't get it. He's saying he's going to be a starting quarterback again one day. Where?
UFL.
And
I was about to say.
Yeah. Like where? What?
Saudi Arabia, if they have a
So that's one thing.
Okay.
Number two, they got to get rid of a lot of this stink. A lot of these players got to go.
Yeah.
You got to start. If you're going to start over, listen, Muji did well. Quinion Williams was here for a long time, and what we were doing with him? Losing.
Mm-hmm.
Ahmed headed right down that path. All this great defense, but you know what we're doing? We're losing. We could lose without you. So let's try to get some picks. Because like I said to everybody at the end of the day, you don't, in order to get something in return, you don't trade bad players. You have to trade players like this to get something in return, which is what they did. And what was my number 3? Oh, can we get a competent defensive coordinator here?
I actually wrote that down as like.
And there's two guys.
Follow-up question.
Two guys I have in mind.
Okay.
One was with the Giants, Wink Martindale.
Yep, I seen his name come up. Right.
Number 2, Jim Schwartz.
Where's he at now?
He was
I've
with
heard
Cleveland.
Schwartz. Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Okay. Yes.
Which
yes,
I think
yes.
I'm assuming he's going to be like go-to, being that Stefanski was fired.
Schwartz is a
If he hasn't
maniac.
We have to, like I told Will, and we've heard it over here. You know what? That defense, all the hoopla, wasn't as good as everyone thought it was. Let's just be honest.
By the way, don't forget, first time ever, no interceptions for the team in a season.
That didn't even happen by you get one by accident,
Right? That's what
or by a tip or something.
And they only had 4 takeaways the whole year. 4.
It's and for those that saying, "Oh, Aaron Glenn, it falls on him, and he's a defensive guy,"
It's so stupid.
It's
so
stupid.
dumb.
You know why? Because those are the same people that said they ridiculed Salah for always. You saw him last year a couple times when the defense made a good play. He was on the field giving him high fives. They were like, "You're not the DC anymore. You're the head coach. You have to coach the whole team. You have to stop doing that." Right? He did that. Glenn's not doing that, and now it's his fault that the defense sucks. Come on, man.
Both ways.
Yeah, you can't have it both ways, man. So I just let that go through one ear and out the other ear. It's stupid. But, some kind of competence here when it comes to defensive coordinator, man. Because like I said, sometimes you may not have the best talent, but if you got the right guy running the defense, it goes a long way. And it sucks, man. It's just brutal. I'm just happy that this fucking season's over.
Let me ask you about the quarterback thing, because that was a question that I wrote down here for myself to ask you. Let's say that they do draft one of these guys, right? Let's pretend. I know your stance on having a guy sit. So you have this guy sit for a year or as much as long as possible. You got to try to avoid that, starting this guy right away. Who do you bring in as a bridge? A, B, does somebody like who's the backup for the Packers? What's his face? Willis. Is that an attractive guy? And do you think somebody like that can be had because the Jets have all these fucking draft picks now to mess around with? Because it's gonna cost.
It could be had. I mean, money talks. I think it's more about him and how he. how he feels his talent is, and he's come in Green Bay, and, done well, couple spot starts here and there.
Yeah.
He may be saying, "I don't want to be a bridge.
Right.
I
Yeah.
have a piece of my own franchise."
Mm-hmm.
If you're telling me I'm going to be a bridge, or if you draft a quarterback, he already knows that without you telling him that. He's out. He's not interested unless he comes in here and just blows the roof off, and you can't bench him.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's a little tricky there. Maybe he comes and he doesn't care about bringing it up. But I think he's at a point in his career. I think he's like 26, 27. He says, "You know what? The couple times I've come in, I've proven myself. I want to have my chance.
Right.
And I don't want to be a bridge." So I heard Kirk Cousin rumors, Marcus Mariota, Kyler Murray. Yeah, I'm not really interested. Who's that bridge guy? Like I said, Malik Willis, I wouldn't mind. I actually wouldn't mind Kirk Cousins, but I still think he's under contract, right? They would have to release him or something like that.
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
Marcus Mariota. I mean, as long as it's a bridge, I guess.
Russell Wilson.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
I mean, Jameis, I would. Hey,
I think he's still under contract.
No, the Giants are going to keep him.
Yeah, I think they got another year with him. They're going to keep him. And I think Russell's going to go.
Yeah.
There's a couple other players that they mentioned, but
Tommy
they would either have to like trade for them or something like. I mentioned him before this season started, but he went to New England. Yeah. He went to New England. I mean, he showed competence when he played with the Giants.
He did.
That's all you have to do.
When they let him throw the ball, he did.
He just, he didn't make, god awful mistakes. Yeah, granted, he wasn't throwing the ball 80 yards down the field because maybe his arm, but still, he didn't turn the ball over. He ran the offense, and if that's what a bridge quarterback's supposed to do, and take you to that until that guy's ready to take over the reins.
Yeah.
But there was a couple other people they mentioned. I can't really remember, but I think they would have to like either maybe trade for them or hopefully they get released or something like that. I can't remember them, but yeah, I'm not interested. There's a lot of hoopla about this Kyler Murray shit. I'm not really interested in that. That's almost to me like another Justin Fields type of thing, maybe with a lot more talent. But I just feel like that's going to go down the wrong path if we bring that guy in.
Let me ask you another question about the wide receiver situation. Because Garrett Wilson was obviously hurt for a vast majority of this season. Do they need another high-profile receiver to pair?
Oh, 100%.
It's almost a similar situation to the Giants.
100%. There should be somebody at 16 because I think they got 16th, the Colts pick.
Mm-hmm. Right, that's the Colts pick.
There should be somebody there unless this guy Muji works some more magic and gets a lot more. Because remember, they got... Listen, running backs, receivers, you can find these guys all up and down the draft. You just got to do your homework and find the right guy. So they got 216, and I think they also got the first pick in the second round.
Yes, they do. Yep.
These are all good quality picks.
Right.
You could find a receiver there. I was reading, the mock draft bullshit that everybody gets caught up in. And just looking at some people height-wise, I've never seen them play. I'll be lying to you. But just by looking at their height, their weight. Oh,
right.
Maybe this guy. Then you read the little, paragraph that they have on them. It's up to them to do their homework and get it, but they do need another receiver. But I also do want them to keep this Mitchell kid. If they get rid of
who they got,
Mechie, fine. But the Mitchell kid, I want them to keep him.
Eric, any thoughts, any questions for Lee J about the Jets?
No, I actually kind of agree with him about the quarterback situation as far as, not drafting a guy if you're not 100% sure he's your guy. Because that's what a lot of teams make that mistake where it's like, we need a quarterback and this is the highest guy on the board. Let's take him. I think, and then next year, from what I was told, the quarterback class is going to be a lot better.
Right.
Than this year. So, I mean, you get that whoever that bridge guy is that you're talking about, maybe, and then just get an impact person at 2 and 16. It just makes your team better for next year. So, I kind of agree with that. And then plus the Giants, the Jets have a whole bunch of cap space, so they could sign some people. It's the total opposite from the Giants. which is why I got so pissed off about us dropping in the draft. Because I'm like,
Yes,
we have no cap space. We have like $20 million in cap space, and then we don't have a. Anyway, getting back to the Jets, I think going the route of not getting a quarterback, whether it be keep Tyrod Taylor and then get another guy, and go from there. You get some impact players with those draft picks, man. You be in good shape.
And if they do bad next year, they still got some more draft capital. They could trade that into next year's first round to see what they could do.
Get Arch Manning.
Jesus, stop it! Stop.
Hey,
I'm all in on that.
Arch Manning has improved throughout the year, man. He started off shitty.
I'm all in on that. That would be the dream right there.
But he, as the year went, he got better. I have to admit.
Okay, I have to see how he plays out this coming season because granted, I only watched that first game, and we talked about it, and I was like, I'm not impressed with this fucking guy. So, okay, Giants. Before we go to the Giants, I do want to read the statement from John Mara and Steve Tisch, the Giants owner, about keeping Joe Shane. This is what they said, quote, "The 2025 season has been deeply disappointing and the results on the field have not lived up to the standard this organization and our fans expect. As previously stated, Joe Shane will remain our general manager and continue to lead our football operations and the search for our next head coach. Continuity and stability in the front office is important to our progress. We believe in our young core of talent, which we can build around for future success." And I will give the hat tip for Eric because he said all along that they were going to keep Shane, and here we are crying in our cereal this morning. Anyway, okay. How about we do this, Eric? You go with one, I'll go with one, and we'll kind of go back and forth, and then, I'm sure Liji's going to have some thoughts. You can chime in, whatever. So, what is your first thing that you would like to see the Giants do this offseason to improve this team?
Well, the first one is obvious. It's just get the right head coach.
Yes, I'm going to say I'm in agreement. Yes, that was my number one.
I don't care if it's Harbaugh, Stefanski, Kubiak, Clinsbury. I don't care who it is. Just get it right. I have my theories on should we go offense, should we go defense, things like that. At the end of the day, just get the head coach right. It's, you got to have somebody that is.
I'll be back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You got to have somebody that's, another cliche leader of men, but it's the truth.
Right. Yeah.
You got to have somebody that's not only could command respect from the offense, but also the defense, which is sometimes you get into the weeds of, oh, he's an offensive coach, he's a defensive coach. Bro, I just want a guy that knows football. Mm-hmm. And then you can hire an offensive coordinator. You can hire a defensive coordinator. Depending on the coach you get, if it's a coach that's experienced, more people are going to more of those coordinators are going to gravitate to that guy, as opposed to a first-time head coach, which is a bunch of names out there, which you don't know how their coaching staff is going to be. Mm-hmm. They're first-time head coaches. You don't know who they're going to keep. They're probably going to bring an assistant that they worked with or something like that. And then at the end of the day, you don't know how that works out. So my number one, just get the coach right, whoever it is.
Yeah, because I had that as number one as well. And so I'll piggyback off of this in this way to make it a little bit different from what you said. I've been thinking about this lately, and especially with all this chatter about Jackson Dart. 3 weeks ago we were talking about, maybe the Giants should draft a quarterback, and is Jackson Dart the right guy? And I think he's kind of somewhat redeemed himself the past couple of weeks. I think I would say I would lean towards a more offensive-minded coach, only because I want them to come in here and tap this guy's potential for whatever it's worth. So if it is a Kingsbury, if it is a Stefanski, I would probably take that over a Spagnuolo or somebody who's more defensive minded. They got to get this right? Yeah. They have to get this right. And if you go read again, I highly recommend reading the Athletic article from today. There's this idea in the Giants organization that the head coach is going to save them. Whether that's fair or not, it probably isn't to have all these expectations on one person to turn everything around. They got to get this right for the sake of the organization because there are too many cooks in the kitchen over there and things are burning in the Giants front office. So they have to get this right. So this is why I think you might have to go with somebody who's done this before and not a first-year guy. And we know somebody like Freeman, he's staying in Notre Dame, so he's out. I know names about Kingsbury's been brought up and other offensive-minded coach. Even the fucking, please do not hire anybody else from Buffalo. Don't do that. Because I heard that guy's name come up as well, the OC over there.
No,
I do really think, you got to bring somebody in here who already has the experience only because of the shit show that is happening in the front office for the Giants. Yeah. So to kind of make things a little bit different from what you're saying, I think it should be offense first. And I think that it has to be an experienced guy to come in to right the ship. And number 3, this whole thing about like he has to be like a CEO type of head coach. I don't know who that is. I don't know if Stefanski's that guy, but I feel like somebody like Harbaugh might be that guy.
Definitely.
So he hasn't gotten fired yet, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's my number 1 to go along with you about the head coach.
So here's a crazy thing I heard. I'm curious if you would get this. When is the last time the New York Giants had a defensive-minded head coach?
Defensive-minded head coach, Jesus Christ. You can't say it's Joe Judge because he was the special teams guy.
Special teams. I don't even know what conference.
Why do I want to say Ray Hanley?
Nope.
No. Okay. It wasn't Parcells, was it?
Bill Parcells.
I was gonna say Parcells, but that just seems like so long ago.
That's insane.
That's the last defensive-oriented coach we had.
You know what I think this is? This goes for every team. We fall in love with that shit too much.
That's what I just said earlier. Yeah.
We fall in love with this.
Defensive, offensive
guy.
Yeah.
Listen, if he builds the right staff and he hires the right people,
exactly,
they got to do their job.
Yeah.
If you bring in a very good OC, he's going to take care of the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
As a head coach, defensive or offensive, in my opinion, you can't just cater to one thing.
Yep.
You're coaching men, not just a quarterback. Your job is to oversee defense, offense, and special teams. Mm-hmm. So if you hire the right people, maybe those are the people that need to come in that have a little bit more experience as opposed to the head coach that it can uplift him and bring him along the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We fall in love. You pigeonhole yourself. That's how you pick the wrong guy. You got to go in there. You have the interviewees, right? You have a list. They're going to have a list of people they want to interview based on who was fired and who they're going to go with, maybe somebody outside the box. You sit them down. These interviews apparently go on for a very long time. 6, 7, 8 hours. It's insane to me. They go to lunch. They go to dinner. Within a week, you start narrowing it down to your last 3. You should know who you want based on what you felt from them, eye contact, how they were running different scenarios, X, Y, and Z. Who they're going to bring in as an OC, as a DC, pick their brain, blah, blah, blah. And let's go. I think we make sometimes things too complicated that don't need to be complicated. Yeah. You're not going to always get it right, but I feel like this is the time that it needs to get right.
Yeah.
This has been too long of like just bad football, man. We're talking about 10 plus years for both teams. This is terrible. This can't be. Like we us 3 had a real quick. Us 3 were talking about like, number 1 pick and tanking and all this joke, some in cheek, some not. It was our own opinions. But here's my thing. You've been picking in the top 10 for the last 10 years.
Right. Yeah.
When is that the equivalent to the number 1 pick? To where you got all these picks and your team is still shit? Like I hate to be that guy because I hate this fucking city. But look what Philadelphia does. They do it the right way, man. That owner does it the right way. He knows when to get rid of people at the right time. He knows who to draft. He knows how to make trades within the draft. He knows how. Remember when they hired this guy Sirianni? Everybody laughed at him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This guy's been to 2 Super Bowls and won one, and he's back in the playoffs. I don't know, man. It's just when Will says, he texts me. What was it, yesterday or Saturday night? He's like, I'm just gonna start watching season 5 of Stranger Things because God knows the Giants ain't gonna do nothing for me.
Yeah, I did not watch that game on Sunday.
Like, how can you?
Yeah.
We got Eric enjoying TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
No man says that. That's still a nightmare.
Yeah, man.
One thing I will say before we go on to the second thing for Eric about the Giants is apparently there's a long-standing rumor that Mara keeps a list of potential head coaches all the time, no, regardless of who's the coach. What are we doing here? Apparently, you're not fucking hiring the right guy. I like to see who the fuck's on this list.
Yeah.
I would love to get that list to see who's on this list. So, anyway,
one thing I do want, I had something to say about the Giants. I do think they need to re-sign Wan'Dale Robinson. That would be my little snippet on the Giants.
We were gonna get to that with mine. So you jumping the gun here, sir.
Eric, you talking like you was about to move on.
Right, to number 2. This is,
you didn't say number 2. You said move on.
No, I said number 2. Eric, your second thing for the Giants.
My second thing is fix the secondary, including I'm including the linebackers in that. Okay. If you go back to the preview episode that we had about the NFL season, I talked about how critical the linebackers were. Okereke. McFadden got hurt at the beginning of the year. We lost him for the season. Okereke didn't show up until these last freaking 2 games. All of a sudden, he's catching interceptions left and right. I talked about how the secondary needed to step up because I think the Giants, what they did last year, and it was a wrong strategy, was they thought that they were going to get enough pass rush.
Yes.
To where the secondary didn't need to do too much. Mm-hmm. Wrong idea. Bad idea. And that obviously didn't work. So fixing the secondary is a must. What drives me nuts about us dropping to 5 is not only do we lose the fact that we may make a trade to get more assets, but we fall out of Arvell Reese, which the linebacker from Ohio State.
Ohio State, yeah.
So according to these drafts, and you don't know how it is, but they got him going 3 to Arizona. So that screws us up, and he would have been great in part of the secondary, and as far as linebacking core. But the 2 guys that they signed in the offseason in the secondary didn't pan out this year. The guy from Miami, I forget his name. They didn't play well this year. They didn't play well. So fix the secondary, whether it be via draft. It's probably going to have to be via draft because, like I said, the Giants only have like $20 million cap space. Mm-hmm. And I know that could go down if you cut some guys here and there. But
restructure contracts.
Yeah. That's my number 2, fix the secondary.
So my number 2.
Javon Holland.
Yes.
That's right, Holland, yeah. So my number 2 is kind of along the lines of what Lee just said. Yes, I agree. Wan'Dale Robinson's got I don't know. Is he a free agent heading into next year? I don't know.
He is.
Yeah. No, he's a free agent now. Yeah. He's a free agent now.
You have to bring him back, and you can probably bring him back on the relative cheap.
Not from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, you're not going to get him on a cheap. They've been talking about that for a while, which is why he was playing these games because he was trying to get the 1,000 yards, which he wound up getting.
He did get, yeah. Well, I mean, if that's the case, so regardless of what happens to Robinson. My thing that I actually wrote down 5 things, but I might mention the other 2 depending on what makes it and what doesn't, based off of what Eric said. My number 2 is you need somebody to complement Malik Neighbors. I've been saying this since fucking last year. You got to get somebody to complement him. I don't know whether one of these top wide receivers, and this is the thing now, the priority. What's the priority here for the draft? Do you go after a wide receiver? Do you go after some defensive help? Do you go after offensive line? This is where I'm worried about Shane making these decisions. But I will say that regardless of how healthy Neighbors comes into next season, you need another pass catching threat. And listen, if you can re-sign Robinson and add another guy via the draft, boom, there you go. You're gonna have draft capital, right? Let's do it. Let's get another wide receiver, big time wide receiver. So pretty simple. Number 2 is adding another wide receiver threat, even if you bring back Robinson. Eric, your final thing here.
Yeah, that was actually my number 3. Draft or sign a wide receiver. I honestly think Wan'Dale Robinson's gonna be out. And the only reason I say that is I think at 5, I think the Giants will draft a receiver. Because there's 3 of them that are supposed to go in the top 10.
Yeah, I've seen that. Right.
And I think Wan'Dale's just gonna go where he gets paid. He's a good receiver. Don't get me wrong. He's a good, for what he is. He's a third down back, a third down receiver type of thing. And he even proved that he's more than that this year.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think, what is he, like 5'9", 5'10"?
Sure, he's on the short end.
Yeah,
5'9", 5'8".
You could get
He's not Metcalf.
No, you could get somebody to replace him easier than signing him for all of that money and then having to get a Malik Neighbors type wide receiver.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Let's see. What can I pick for my number 3? I'm gonna say fix the offensive line. I mean, that's a pretty.
They were good this year.
They actually didn't do bad.
No, they were. But
they were as much as mix and matching as they did, and injuries and stuff like that. They didn't. That was actually one of their quote unquote strong suits.
For the first time in a long time.
Right, but I guess when I'm saying that I want there to be kind of some more stability where if one guy does go down, that there are options behind them to come in and play well. And that whole thing about depth goes for the whole fucking team, to be quite honest, because I feel like, listen, what was the game that they had somebody playing wide receiver that they had just signed off the practice squad because they had all these injuries? That shit to me,
little Jordan Humphrey.
Yeah, little Jordan Humphrey. Right. I think there was actually another guy too. This whole situation with the kicker, and this guy the past couple of weeks has played well, but it is, he's playing well in non-pressure situations. So I just to add to the offensive line thing, I think the depth overall is something that needs to be addressed with this team going forward. The other two quick things that I had on here, they got to find a way to fix these. And I think this is to Eric's point about the defense. This late game shit can't happen. I don't know. Did you guys see? Somebody did a thing where, I know Lee doesn't like to talk about what ifs, but let's just stick with this. The games that the Giants dropped, if the reverse would have happened, all these close games, they would have finished the season 10-7. So, what ifs? I get it, but just think about, if the reverse had happened in those situations, they'd be probably in the playoffs right now.
I mean, think about where we were when we were talking about the Denver game. We're up 19 nothing.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then if we win that game, the next game we're playing the Eagles for first place.
Right.
And we go from that to this where we're at right now.
Yeah. To this bullshit of 4 and whatever the hell they were, 4-13, 4-14, whatever it is. And then to the other point is, I can't remember what the takeaway situation was. I know it wasn't as bad as the Jets, but they didn't do very well in that department. So, listen, besides quarterback and maybe running back, I feel like everywhere else needs some improvement for next year. But we'll see. Everything starts tomorrow. Everything starts tomorrow. So, Lee J, any more thoughts on the Giants before we move on?
Your man's a free agent, Luminor. He plays right tackle. I mean, he's jumped around on the line. He's a veteran. I don't know if they're going to resign him and what kind of money he's asking for. But there's certain positions, like I mentioned before, that you're going to always find in the draft. It's just a matter of, as they drop, who's the best one.
Yeah.
that complements what you're looking for. I think the right side they got to try to solidify that, especially if they lose Illuminor. We already know Evan Neal. That ain't
Right.
happening anymore.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yes, that's done.
So maybe a right tackle.
Mhm.
Listen, like Eric and I just said, they did do better than they have done in a long time. But the main point is to keep that kid upright when he's in the
That's
pocket.
yeah, agreed.
Um, and he's only get better the more time he has and the more he gets to see the game, see the field, yada yada yada. Um, yeah, but that was it. The Robinson thing, and I would say a tackle because I think you can find. Excuse me. Unless the wide receiver is like you can't miss, and everybody's talking about it, then yeah, sure. But if it's nothing like that, you can find a receiver in the second, third round. They're there.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys something quickly before we move on. As far as draft philosophy, which one do you guys subscribe to? One, drafting for your need, or two, drafting the best player available? Lee J, which one would you rather?
I think. Well, go ahead, Lee.
Unless Eric, you have you want to answer first while Lee J thinks about it.
I would go with
This is because this always comes up. This question always comes up. How do you draft?
I feel need you can always get. I say best player because that comes with a lot more stuff than just athletic ability.
Yeah, that's a good
He
point.
could be a great leader.
Right.
He's going to be the guy that you need to take control of that offensive room or defensive room, whatever it may be, whatever side of the ball you draft him on. Yeah, you want as many best especially when it comes to football. Like I think other sports, you don't want to have too many great players on one team. Like basketball, it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
But football, you want to have as many good to great players on your team. So I would go with that one.
Eric.
I think, and this is kind of like a cop out answer, but I think it.
That's fine.
I think it depends on the team and where they're at, as far as like if a team is one or two players away from a championship, then go for the need. If it's a team that's like the Giants, like the Jets, that a lot of players away, go for best player available because there'll be more bang for your buck if that player turns out to be the superstar that you think. It will rise your team up.
My answer is kind of a cop out in a way. I think your first pick should be the need, like your biggest need.
Mhm.
That should be your first pick, and then everybody else, I think, should be best player available. Especially if you've got early round picks that you can snag somebody that maybe nobody's not thinking about, and you can come in and take somebody. Because I mean, look what happened. Well, obviously the Giants traded away that pick to get Dart, but he didn't work out. But remember the year that they drafted Will Hernandez, this first pick of the second round.
Mm-hmm.
That was a need, but he was one of the best players available on the board at that point. Now, again, it didn't really work out for him in a Giants uniform, but I think it's like a situation that I think I forget who got drafted first in that year. What year was that? I can't remember.
Well, who's
when my namesake got drafted the first pick of the second round. Will Hernandez, the offensive lineman. I can't remember what year that was.
That was a Dave Gettleman pick, if I remember right.
Big Kettleman,
so
yeah.
20 maybe?
Yeah.
21?
Anyway, cool. Good. That's a good discussion. Hopefully, Joe Shane send us a check. Moogie send us a check if you take any of these things to heart. And yeah, good luck.
One more thing, real quick, about the head coaching. What I don't want is the Giants to drag this shit out.
Oh, I agree. Yes.
Target 5 or 6 guys, interview them, because there's a ton of openings and there's gonna be more. So
it's gonna be
if you drag ass on this, like if you some of these guys that don't get jobs, like the Kingsbury, the Kubiak, they're gonna either go right back to their old job or they're gonna go get an offensive coordinator or defense coordinator job somewhere else. real quick. So don't drag ass on this. Target your guys and make a decision right away.
Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, the sooner the better. Like you gotta start getting ready for the draft like tomorrow. So, all right, okay, this is gonna be a little fun because one of the things that we're gonna do in this episode is go back in time and list out the wild shit that each of us said in our NFL preview episode. I listened to it yesterday. I took a lot of notes.
I heard some of it today too.
Yeah. Let's I'm gonna go in order here. The way we did in the episode. So Eric's first team in the preview episode was the Colts. Specifically, Anthony Richardson. Would we ever see him on the field? The answer was a resounding no. It never happened. Lee J agreed with everything that Eric said, especially about Daniel Jones, this really being his opportunity. But I was accurate in what I said. There's a pretty good chance that Jones will get hurt, and it happened. So, Eric, how are you feeling about this Colts, in retrospect, your Colts prediction or storyline from?
Yeah, I think I pretty almost hit the nail on the head. I mean, I think I told them, I said they would finish 8-9. That's exactly how they finished 8-9.
They did, 8-9. That's what you picked, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't think it needed a brain surgeon to know that Daniel Jones is going to get hurt eventually. So I kind of think, I'll give myself a check mark for that one.
Okay. Number 2, Lee J. Well, his first team. And this is still to be determined. Buffalo Bills. Quote, Lee J. We're at the point with the Bills where they have to put up or shut up. We're still there. The playoffs start on Saturday. The one thing we did get wrong, I mean, all of us, about he has to beat Mahomes. That's not going to happen because Mahomes, they didn't make the playoffs. So one of the points that Eric made, though, was if they don't do it this year, they might blow the team up. We'll see. That's really TBD at the moment. But Lee J, any thoughts on the Bills? I know we're going to talk about them a little bit later on with the playoff predictions, but yeah, anything to say about the Bills that has changed for you?
Nope, that doesn't change. Here we are. We're still talking about the same thing every year, and nothing's been done.
Exactly.
Bro,
So here we are.
I know they took a step back. They didn't win the division this year, but they still, I mean, think about the teams that had eliminated them over the years. Joe Burrow.
They're gone. They're all gone. They're all
None of those guys
there.
are in the playoffs.
Yeah.
This is why it's more of his opportunity to do what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Listen, they've been one of the more, one of the enigmas of the NFL, right?
Yeah,
sometimes they come out, they'll blow you out, then they'll lose to a team that you would never expect them to lose to, 13-10, this, that. The defense hasn't been the greatest. It's been atrocious. This is it. Everyone that's been in your way the last few years is not there. Jackson, Burrow, like Eric said, Mahomes, they're gone.
They're gone. They're all
Here's
gone.
the red carpet. That's all I got to say.
And now he's got to get past Lee J's boy. Okay, my team was the Bears. And I was wrong because I said that they wouldn't make the playoffs. And here we are. They're in the playoffs. It was really about Williams. And I think the jury's still out for Lee J because Lee J said, you don't have faith in Williams. What about now? Is that still a question for you about whether Williams...
He was, like I said, I picked them to beat the 49ers that game. They didn't, but he was a big part of why they scored so many points.
Yeah, right.
But here, like, I'm not so quick to make a prediction on something that still hasn't been proven.
Right. Yeah.
Even Luke said it, who's a Bears fan. There was more games where he wasn't the reason why they won.
Exactly.
So if I have a standing point or a leg to stand on, it's Luke. He watches the games. That's his team, and he told us. He told you to tell us.
Yeah. Right.
Right. So this is his opportunity. If he comes into these playoffs and tears it up. Maybe there's nothing else to say.
By the way, this is really hard to believe considering some of the quarterbacks that the Bears have had. They have never had a 4,000-yard passer in a year, despite having guys like Cutler, who threw the ball over the place, and like Jim McMahon. I think Williams fell like just short of the 4,000 yards. Eric, here's what you said. Don't see the Bears winning many games this year.
Wrong.
You are wrong about that one. Okay, Eric's second team, the Dolphins.
Hold on, real quick.
Yes.
Like we say, I don't know what FanDuel's trying to tell us, but I think Green Bay's favored in this game.
Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah, I didn't even look at the lines for this. Oh, yeah, we're just
no. I'm not saying that. I did a quick glimpse.
Yeah,
and when I checked last, they were favored.
That's interesting. At Lambeau. Interesting. Okay. Eric,
was that game in Chicago?
No, it's in Chicago.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Being favored on the road in Chicago. That's very interesting. Okay. Eric, your second team was the Dolphins. The Dolphins are a bad start away from getting blown up. That didn't necessarily happen, but Tyreek Hill got hurt. McDaniel has not been fired as of what time is it? It is 7:15 on a month, January 5th. He has not been fired. Can't rely on Tua staying healthy. He did, but he got benched at the end of the year. A-Chain stayed healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You said he wouldn't, but he did. And Lee J said that he didn't believe in Mike McDaniel. Eric, anything to say about the Dolphins? They kind of, in a way, it kind of bore out in some ways.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't make the playoffs, which is what I thought, but I don't want to say that the team is stable because they're not. But they're
definitely not.
They just didn't blow up like I thought they would.
Yeah. I quote here: "You can see Tyreek Hill losing his mind."
Well, he did when he saw his leg folded to the side.
He did something when he got hurt. What the hell? What was the gesture he did?
Oh, yes, because he was at the hospital and the ambulance or something.
Yeah, he did something that you would garner him saying that. Yeah, he lost his mind.
Right, exactly. Oh God. Okay, Lee J's number 2 team, the Cowboys. Here's what Lee J said: that you like Prescott as a QB, but you said it was put up or shut up time for him. You said that he had to make the playoffs and make a run, not just make the playoffs and get bounced. He needed to make the playoffs and make a run. Another quote from Lee J: "You can't keep putting up good numbers in the regular season and not do anything in the playoffs. As a personal goal, you said for him to at least make it to the second round." Eric agreed with that. To put up or shut up, and I said that I'd even have them making the playoffs. Lee J, your thoughts on?
He failed. Yeah, what I said was true.
Yeah,
he failed. He put up the 4,000 plus yards, all of this cute stuff. Yes, their defense was atrocious, except for when they did those first trades. Remember, they went on that 3-game winning streak,
right?
And it was looking good.
Mm-hmm.
But that DC needs to be fired. Eberflus, he's got to go. But at the end of the day, it all falls in the lap of the quarterback. That's how it works for every team. It shouldn't be any different for them. He has weapons over there, which goes to all the yardage he threw. But you had the quarterback have to find a way to will your team to victory. Whether it be through motivational speaking, something, you know what I mean? Because you don't play defense, I get it.
And that was a big problem.
It's like with Buffalo, it's just too much continuous talk about if when are you going to do it? And here we are again. You can't keep on going like Jerry Jones. Yeah, he's old and all of that. Make fun, but I think he knows what he's doing. You know what I mean?
You do. You actually do think that.
I listen. When I hear him speak, sometimes it's crazy. It sounds funny and all of that.
Right.
But there's a lot of things that he says that make a lot of sense. You know, and he's another one. He's going to spend his money, man. He's like, Arthur Blank he's going to spend his money to do what he needs to do to win a championship. He said it, I think. I want to see another championship before I croak.
Yeah. Right.
But here we are again. They got talent too. and right back out of the playoff picture. Eventually, you got to make changes. I'm sorry. You just have to.
Okay. My third team, Commanders. The question that I had was whether Daniels was the real deal. And we didn't really get to see that because he got hurt a couple of times. And they let him play after he, fucked up his elbow, which is probably not the smartest thing. And then they sat him basically for the rest of the year. I did say that they would struggle to win 10 games. That turned out to be accurate because they were shit, mostly because of the injury. I noted how they had the 5 primetime games and the 1 international game, and I don't know how they fared during those games, but I guess it's a kind of a moot point because, again, Daniels was hurt. I do wonder about this guy's job security going forward. Like, I feel like that they have to come back strong next year, or I don't know, maybe you move on from him. But
He should get another shot.
yeah, that's what I mean.
And see how it goes.
Yeah,
Like healthy
right.
roster.
Right.
See if
right.
he could replicate what he did last year with Daniels.
Yeah.
You do this
That's
shit
what I mean.
again with a healthy Daniels, you're definitely gonna get fired.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay. Eric's third and final team, the Jacksonville Jaguars. But your question was this. You were curious to see how they were going to use Travis Hunter. And we didn't really get to see that because he got hurt.
Yeah.
So that was it with him. And you had another good point about Trevor Lawrence, whether putting up or shut up, and he did put up, but we got to see if we can do that in the playoffs. Lee J's quote here was no faith in Lawrence, despite talent being around him.
And he's had that talent for years. He still hasn't done. He had one little cute win. Nothing I said, I'm taken back. I still don't have faith in him. He had a good year this year. I can't take that from him. He has one playoff win under his belt against the Chargers. And that was more to the point too of our conversation when we had, I think, that same year earlier, maybe the previous, was all about drafting quarterbacks. And he was drafted number 1, hoopla and all of this, and he still hasn't done anything. Yeah. This is, how you always. I'll say this because it happens every year in every sport. But we're talking about football. There's always a Cinderella team. And even though they got the 3 seed, they could be that team.
They could be, yeah.
That makes a run to AFC Championship, dare I say the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That they could be that team. Even though they have a high seed, I could think they could still be considered a Cinderella just because of what, the lack of performances he's had in the past.
People are not expecting. I don't think anybody is realistically expecting the Jaguars to beat the Bills on Saturday.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Yeah. To your point, yep.
Yeah, I don't believe that. So we'll see. Okay, Lee J's third team. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Basically, man. It was 100% troll job on Rodgers. And I quote, I want him to fall flat in his face. I hope you fall and break your fucking face.
I prefaced it with troll job. I knew what I was doing there.
Yeah, I know.
I hate his fucking guts. That's it.
Now, you did bring up a great point, though, about the whole situation now with the Steelers going forward. Because Rodgers is not going to be back next year. We think he's going to retire, right? But now they made the playoffs. So there goes your good draft pick out the window, right? So what do they do next year now? What's their future? And you brought that up during the preseason stuff about draft pick going forward. So it's going to be, I'll be very curious to see what happens.
Now that you reminded me that I was the Steelers, I got something quick for you guys. Did you see what Tomlin did at the end of the game?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Yep.
And then he blew a kiss.
Yeah.
Do you know what he was? What did you really see there? What did you really see what he was doing?
I'm out of here.
If you just broke it down to like.
You think so, right?
I don't think he was. It could be. I didn't think about that.
Eric,
I was thinking more him. He was telling everybody.
Fuck yeah. Oh no, he definitely was. Oh yeah, he definitely was. Yeah. Oh yeah.
All I see him was sticking up middle fingers. That's all I saw him do.
Yeah. No, without a doubt.
That's to the fans,
Right.
media, and everyone else that thinks he should be fired.
Right. Yeah.
Like when he blew that kiss, the King Kong thing, I was like, okay. When he blew that kiss, I was like, this guy doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. And he still might get fired if Houston.
I was about to. Yeah, that's
if
exactly.
Houston pounds them, forget about it. He might get fired.
No, this will be not the. It won't be firing. It'll be the what's the shit called?
Let go.
When they agree to
mutual
terms. Yeah. Well, this is why, Eric, to your point, and I meant to bring this up before, and I'm glad we're talking about it now. You got to wait to see what happens on Sunday with Steelers before the Giants make any decisions here. So,
yeah,
we shall see. Okay, my last team. We don't have to say on this on very long. The Raiders.
Oh my God!
BJ and I were way off on this one.
Yeah, can I say something? Can I say something about that to our defense, please?
Yes.
We all know the game that you presented to us when we did this at the beginning of the year was Dark Horse, correct?
Yeah, Dark Horse, but you had them at 9-8.
Right. So the meaning behind Dark Horse is pick somebody. You're forced to play the game. You have to pick somebody that no one else has picking. So that would make us have to either make them at least 500 or around 500.
Sure.
So I had to pick it, and there's not many dark. It's not like you could say my dark horse is the Philadelphia Eagles. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Right. No, you're right.
To our defense a little bit, I played into the game. So out of everybody in there, I wrote it down here earlier. To me, what would be considered a dark horse in the AFC, because that's what we were talking about, would be like Cleveland, Tennessee.
Sure.
Vegas was on that list. The Jets.
Yeah.
And question mark, I put Miami.
Yeah.
Everybody else, you would expect them to do well.
Right.
That's what I was, feeding into there. Playing more the game of the dark horse as opposed to actually believing that the Raiders with Geno Smith was going to do something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
We just picked the wrong dark horse. That's all.
Yeah, but look at all the other dark horses. Yeah. That's why it's called the dark horse.
Right.
You had to pick one.
This is getting boring.
As long as you didn't put no money down on it.
No, because I just playing Will's game. I had to pick a dark horse, and that was the best of the 6 dark horses I wrote down. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I have a good joke there, but I'm gonna leave it alone.
No. Especially if it has anything to do with Mr. Reed, I'm out.
No.
Oh God.
Oh, crap.
All right, let's get to the records. Okay, so this is the way I'm going to do this. I'm going to read each division record as it finished, and then I will read what we picked, and we can mock each other as we see fit, or
I kind of remember my picks off the top of my head, actually.
Here goes the AFC East. This is how they finished: Pats 14-3, Bills 12-5, Dolphins 7-10, Jets 3-14.
I was definitely wrong about the AFC East.
This is what we had. I had Bills at 12-5, which, close. Pats 9-8, Jets 8-9, Dolphins 8-9. Lee J, Bills 13-4, Jets 9-8, Dolphins 6-11, and New England 4-13.
Yeah, just because I hate them, I'm not putting them up there.
And then Eric. Eric was 13-4 for the Bills, Pats 9-8, Dolphins 7-10, and Jets 6-11. So, anybody have anything to say about this? Or should we move on?
Let's move on.
Yeah. Okay. AFC North. This is how they finished: Steelers 10-7, Ravens 8-9, Bengals 6-11, Browns 5-12. This is what we had. I had the Ravens at 12-5, the Bengals at 10-7, the Steelers at 8-9, and the Browns at 4-13. Lee J, Ravens 12-5, Bengals 11-6, Steelers 5-12, Browns 4-13. Eric, Ravens 13-4, Bengals 12-5, Steelers 8-9, Browns 4-13.
We shit all over that division too. We threw up all over ourselves there too.
Okay, AFC South. This is how they finished. Jacksonville 13-4, Texans 12-5, Colts 8-9, Titans 3-14. This is what we picked. I picked the Texans at 10-7, the Jaguars at 8-9, Titans at 6-11, Colts at 4-13. Lee J.
10-7 Colts.
10-7, Texans 10-7, Jaguars 5-12, Titans 4-13. Eric, Titans 10-7, Colts 8-9,
Texans.
Jaguars. I'm sorry. What's that again?
You said
Texans. Texans.
Oh yeah,
at
Texans.
2.
Yeah. No wait. Texans 7-7, Colts 8-9, Jaguars 7-10, Titans 5-12. Okay, AFC West. This is how they finished. Broncos 14-3, Chargers 11-6, Chiefs 6-11, Raiders 3-14. This is what we picked. Chiefs 11-6 for myself. Broncos 10-7, Chargers 9-8, Raiders 7-10. Oh my God. Lee J. Chiefs 12-5, Broncos 10-7, Chargers 10-7, Raiders 9-8. Eric, Chiefs 13-4, Chargers 11-6, Broncos 9-8, Raiders 5-11. This is who we had making the playoffs. I had the Bills, Ravens, Texans, Chiefs, Bengals, Broncos, and Pats. Lee J had the Bills, Chiefs, Ravens, Colts, Broncos, Bengals, and Chargers. And Eric had the Bills, Chiefs, Ravens, Texans, Chargers, Bengals, Broncos. This is who actually made the playoffs in the AFC. Pats, Bills, Steelers, Jaguars, Texans, Denver, Chargers. Do we have anything to say for ourselves here?
Nope.
All right. Let's go to the NFC. NFC East. This is how they finished. Eagles 11-6, Dallas 7-9, Commanders 5-12, Giants 4-13. This is what we picked. I had the Eagles at 12-5, Commanders at 10-7, Cowboys at 8-9, and the Giants at 7-10. My God, I might have been drunk when we recorded that. Eagles, Lee J. Eagles at 13-4, Commanders at 11-6, Cowboys at 10-7, Giants at 9-8. Eric had the Eagles at 12-5, Commanders at 10-7, Cowboys at 9-8, Giants at 8-9. We really had some high expectations for the Giants, huh? Jesus Christ. NFC North. This is how they finished. Bears 11-6, Packers 9-7, Vikings 9-8, Detroit 9-8. So everybody finished over 500 here. This is how we picked them. Packers, me, 11-6, Lions 10-7, Vikings 9-8, Bears 8-9. Lee J. Lions 12-5, Packers 11-6, Vikings 9-8, Bears 7-10. Eric. Lions 11-6. Man, we were all in the fucking Lions, huh? Packers 10-7, Vikings 8-9, Bears 4-13. Holy shit!
I figured out why the Detroit Lions had a bad. I figured out why the Detroit Lions had a bad year because they signed DJ Reed from the Jets.
NFC South. This is how they finished. Carolina 8-9, Buccaneers 8-9, Falcons 8-9. Which, by the way, I don't think that's ever happened before. 3 teams finishing that with those records, like same records like that. Saints 6-11. This is what we picked. Myself, Bucks 9-8, Falcons 8-9, Panthers 6-11, Saints 5-12. I got that all right actually with the Saints, right? Yeah, no, 6-11 went off. Lee J, Buccaneers 11-6, Falcons 10-7, New Orleans 6-11, Panthers 6-11. Eric, Bucks 11-6, Falcons 10-7, Panthers 5-12, Saints 2-15. Damn. Okay, and the final here, NFC West. This is how they finished. Seattle 14-3.
Yeah, I definitely didn't have that.
No, Rams 12-5, 49ers 12-5, Arizona 3-14. This is what we had. Will, 49ers 10-7. Rams 10-7. I had the 49ers winning the division. Cards 8-9. Seahawks 8-9. Lee J, Rams 10-7. Arizona 9-8. 49ers 9-8. Seattle 8-9. Eric, Rams 10-7. 49ers 9-8. Seahawks 8-9. Cardinals 5-12. Here is who actually made the playoffs in the NFC. Eagles, Bears, Packers, Panthers, Seahawks, Rams. This is who we picked. I had the Eagles, Packers, Bucks, 49ers, Commanders, Lions, and Rams. Lee J had the Eagles, Rams, Lions, Tampa Bay, Commanders, Packers, and Cowboys. And Eric had the Eagles, Rams, Lions, Bucks, Commanders, Packers, and Falcons. We were really the fuck way off on the Commanders. Holy shit. My God. Okay. Our AFC title game. I had the Bills versus the Ravens and picked the Bills. Lee J had the Bills versus the Chiefs and Chiefs picked the Bills. Eric had the Bills versus the Chiefs and picked the Bills. We all picked the Bills for the Super Bowl, to win the Super Bowl. NFC title game. I had the Eagles versus the Packers, and I had the Packers winning. Lee J had the Eagles versus the Bucks and had the Eagles winning. Eric had the Eagles versus the Commanders with the Eagles winning. Anyway, let's talk about our NFL playoff predictions. And I figured let's just get this out of the way now, and we can have fun with this as we go along with the playoffs. Obviously, everything starts on Saturday. There are 3 games on Saturday. 1 o'clock is Buffalo, Jacksonville. Then we have San Francisco and Eagles, and then the Chargers and the Pats. Sunday, we also have 2 games on Sunday. We've got the Rams and the Panthers, then Green Bay and the Bears, and then, of course, because this is what the NFL does now, Monday night, there's a game. Texans and the Steelers. So let's just go wild card round first. So this weekend's games. I will go first. So for the NFC, let's do the NFC first. Buffalo versus Jacksonville. I've got the Bills winning that.
You said AFC or NFC?
AFC. Sorry. Let's go AFC. AFC wildcard games. Buffalo, Jacksonville. I've got Buffalo. Pats.
I'm in agreement with that.
Oh, yeah. Let's just go with each game. Sorry. What am I doing here? So what do you got for that game?
Buffalo.
Eric.
As much as I want Jacksonville to win, I'm going with Buffalo just because we picked them to win it all. So I'm sticking with them.
Yeah, we got it. I did the same thing. Okay, second game. New England versus San Diego. LA, sorry. Jesus, where's my mind? I've got the Pats winning that one. Lee J.
If that game wasn't in New England, I'd pick the Chargers. But with that being said, I got to take the Patriots.
Eric?
Same sentiments. If it was in Los Angeles, I would lean towards the Chargers. But I'm going to go with the Patriots.
This is the most intriguing matchup, I think. Houston versus Pittsburgh. I am taking the Texans on this one. Lee J, we know what you're doing here.
And it's not even a hated thing. I just think the Texans are a better team, especially on the defensive end.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be running for his life. I got Houston on this one.
And he can't run.
Yeah.
Yes, very true. Okay. So, NFC wildcard games. Rams versus Carolina. I am taking the Rams.
I'm taking the Rams.
Rams.
I think it's an easy one.
I think the next game we're going to disagree on.
Yes, it's going to be interesting. Yes. Packers versus Bears.
Oh, not that. Oh, no, okay. Never mind.
That. Yeah. I am taking the Bears here. Lee J.
I was on the fence with this all day, bro. Something tells me the Packers are going to win. But in support of somebody I don't even know and I've never met because he supports us, I'm picking Chicago, and that's my reason. God bless you, Luke.
Eric, what do you got here?
I'm gonna go with the Bears just because I want to see Lee J paint his nails.
Hey, yo. That ain't happening. I'd rather drop dead.
Jesus Christ. Okay, last NFC wildcard game. 49ers versus the Eagles. This is a tough one for me. 49ers. Lee J?
Give me those idiots in the Philadelphia.
I knew it. I knew you were taking them.
I'm going with 49ers.
Funny. Okay, so this is where I hope you guys keep track of because the matchups. I don't think the matchup's going to change much, but well, depending on who we picked. So AFC divisional round, we all picked Buffalo. So Buffalo versus Denver, and I'm taking Buffalo. I mean, I kind of have to.
Is that the way it breaks down? I think New England goes to Denver.
You sure?
And I think Buffalo would play Houston.
Hold on. Oh, that's right, because it's based on the seeding.
Yeah, because I you see what I did here? I copied the bracket as I saw it online.
Wait, Denver goes to, but no,
No, I think you're right. Is Denver?
Yeah, Denver. I'm looking at the bracket right now.
Yeah,
Denver plays the winner of Buffalo Jacksonville. Yeah.
Yeah.
You sure you got the right bracket?
Yeah, 2026 playoff bracket.
I'm on the NFL app, so yeah.
Now here's the question: do they reseed after the? They don't do that, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh, I might have looked at this. See, if you look at who's this thing on? See, there's so many different ones here.
I'm on the NFL.com one.
Yeah, me too.
This is Bleacher Report. Let me go to Bleacher Report.
Because the winner of Buffalo I can see it right here. Winner of Buffalo Jacksonville plays Denver.
So I just got to switch it up then, I guess. Because even that's not right either. That one's I don't even know where the hell they get these from. Anyway, just go ahead, read what you got.
Yeah. So I've got I mean Buffalo versus Denver in the AFC divisional round in the one game, and I've got Buffalo winning that game. That game would be in Denver, but
yeah,
I'm going with the Bills. Lee J, are you ready to pick or?
Yeah, I'm not going with Buffalo in that game. I'm going with Denver.
You're going with Denver? Wow. Okay. Gotcha.
I'm gonna go with Buffalo just because again we picked them to win it all. So, but also if there's any quarterback that could go into Denver and win, it'll be Josh Allen. So I'm gonna stick with Buffalo.
Okay. The other AFC divisional matchup would be because we all picked the same team here. New England versus the Texans. I mean, I gotta go with New England in this game. I can't believe I'm saying that, but going with the Pats in that one. Lee J?
No, give me the Texans.
You're taking the Texans. Wow.
Yeah, I think their defense is stud.
I agree, actually.
Wow.
I'm going with Houston too. Yep.
And Drake May's not ready for that defense. They're stud.
So then your guys' AFC title game would be Buffalo versus Houston. Interesting.
Mine is Denver, Houston. Remember, I picked Denver.
That's right. Yeah, okay. Keep that in mind when we get to that. Okay, NFC divisional. Mine is Rams versus Seattle. I'm taking the Seattle Seahawks in that one.
I'm taking Seattle as well. I think they got a stud defense too.
I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm gonna go with the Rams.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay, my divisional matchup here is Bears versus 49ers, and I'm gonna ride the Bears into the NFC title game. So that's my pick there. Lee J, your divisional matchup there.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Philly.
So Philly over the Bears.
I think they're gonna beat the Bears.
All right. Eric.
I'm gonna go with the Bears too. Why not? Get that nail polish out.
All right, AFC title game. Bills. It's Bills versus Pats. I mean, I'm gonna stick to my guns here, and I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills. There's a theme here. So, Lee J, what are you going
I
here?
don't mind switching it up. I'm going to take the Houston Texans going to the Super Bowl.
Wow. Lee J's being different.
No,
As
I can
usual.
I can see it though. I can see it. I'm gonna go with Buffalo just because I said I picked them from the beginning, so I'm going with them.
All right, my NFC title game is the Seahawks versus the Bears, and I've got the Seahawks. Sorry, Luke. I've got the Seahawks going to the Super Bowl only because I don't know. I think the whole Sam Darnold story will be interesting, but he's probably not even
the last time they were the number 1 seed, they made it to the Super Bowl.
Interesting. Yeah, and the Pope got elected.
I'm not sure if they won it, but
There's a new Pope the same season. Yeah, that's my NFC title game. Seattle. Bears.
Mine is Seattle, Philly. Yeah, I never disliked Sam Darnold, so I'm gonna go with Seattle.
Mine's is the Rams and Bears, and I'm gonna go with the Rams.
Wow, so you've got the Rams as number 5 seed going to the Super Bowl. Interesting.
Do.
I mean, listen, they were great for most of the year, and they kind of sputtered at the end. So, at my Super Bowl, Bills versus Seahawks. I mean, I got to stick with them until they prove me otherwise, which could end on Sunday. Who the fuck knows? So I'm going with the Bills to win it all. Super Bowl 60.
And if you haven't figured it out yet, that's why I'm wearing the hat. Give me the Seahawks because I can't wait for all the Jets fans to come out. We should have kept Sam Darnold.
I'm already seeing it.
Give me the Seattle Seahawks to win the Super Bowl. F it.
Then Lee J's gonna go to his old stomping grounds and
definitely not.
You're gonna go to that
Another
fish market
that I visited. That place.
You go to that fish market and throw fish around?
No, I'm good. I've been over there. That place is the dump.
Oh man. My Super Bowl is Buffalo and the Rams, and I'm gonna go with Buffalo to win it all finally. If not,
that's it. Yeah, I'm done. That's it. I'm done with the Bills.
I'm over with them.
Finished with those fucking guys. All right. Let's we don't have to spend
hold on. I got a quick trivia for you. And if you guys have heard this question before, then we move on.
Okay.
What active coach,
NFL?
active NFL head coach, has more rushing yards in his career than Bo Jackson did?
I've heard this one, so I'm gonna.
All right, so
I'm gonna.
You heard it too?
No, I didn't. But there was a. This is like a joke that happened the other day, right? About somebody not knowing this
during an interview or something.
Yeah. Who was it?
It's
I forgot who the answer was.
It's Harbaugh.
That's right. That was the thing. Yes, Harbaugh.
And his brother had no idea.
And his brother had no idea.
Yes, that was it. Right. Okay.
I just found that to be very amazing.
That is really interesting. Oh God. Okay. We don't have to spend too much time here on this next thing, but I'm just curious to get a heat check, particularly with the Knicks. So they've lost 3 in a row, right? But they're still obviously, overall. What did I have here? I made some notes here. But by the way, since we last recorded, they're 3 and 4. Since we last recorded, they played tonight. They're playing right now, actually.
Yeah, they're playing the Pistons.
So, Lee J, any thoughts, concerns on the Knicks right now?
Not concerned. No thoughts. My nothing changes for me. These things happen. If you thought that they were going to win the rest of the games, you're stupid. Not meaning you. You know what I'm talking about. The fans. This is going to happen. You're going to hit ruts throughout the year. You're going to have ups and downs. Everybody's talking about it now again. You see it all over the internet. Who can we trade to get Giannis and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah.
Add it again?
Because we can't just say we hit a little wall. Let's fight through it. We'll be fine. No. What's the quick trigger to get the next person in here because we're losing and we're on another losing streak. And Mike Brown sucks and Jalen Brunson sucks and everybody sucks. So
Jesus
with that being
Christ.
said,
What
I'm
is
not
wrong with you
worried.
guys? With your fan base.
Those are these are the people that scream from the basement to their mother when they're hungry. So
Basement.
Mother meatloaf.
Yeah. The last time they saw the vaginas when they were born.
Oh, come on. Really? Really going there right now?
Family show,
So
sir.
I'm not worried about it.
This is
And
not a
that's
family
there's really
show.
nothing else to say. I'll let everybody else have at that and all their trade predictions and blah blah blah.
Eric, I haven't really heard much from you about the Knicks since the season started, but your general thoughts. You don't have the NBA package, do you? You didn't get it.
I don't, but I'm gonna get it soon because from what I mean, I thought the Knicks were gonna have a lot more games, and for some reason, I'm not getting them out here. So because
They've been showing a lot of their games on Peacock too.
on Peacock, yeah. So I have Peacock. I could check that out on there, but yeah, I'm probably gonna get it.
I think the game of today is on NBC/Peacock.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna get it soon. Yeah, I agree with everything Lee J said. People go nuts panicking. Every team hits their rut. You know, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and to overreact for an 82 game season, come on, man, give me a break.
Yeah. Quickly on the Nets, it's funny because when I met with Larry, because he goes to a lot of the Nets games because he does
By the way,
yes.
is Larry a Knicks fan or a Nets fan, or doesn't he just
he doesn't
follow? He doesn't really have a team. He just follows basketball.
Yeah, he just follows basketball.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But he does a lot of he covers them for one of the sports service, Sports Wire services, and he was kind of giving me shit a little bit because he was basically like, they are playing decent, they are playing, and to Lee J's point, they play hard, right? Almost every game. They're 3-3 since we last recorded. They had road wins in Philly and against the Timberwolves, but they won yesterday, 127-115. I guess the question for me is when do they trade this guy?
Cam Thomas?
No, well, him too. The other one. He had a big game yesterday.
Oh, Michael Porter Jr.
And it's just like, well, what are we doing here? What are we? They got a little bit of momentum, and let's just fucking trade everybody. So
apparently, he likes playing here. He likes
right.
it. He doesn't, never heard anything negative about him. He's been scoring, but then again, there's always that old thing. You're a good player on a bad team. Who are you really?
Yeah.
Maybe they could get something in return for him, trade him to a contender. I don't know. You know what I wouldn't mind? I actually wouldn't mind seeing him here in the Knicks uniform.
Interesting.
Not a big name, but somebody that could help, and you don't have to give up much.
Right. I will say this: they are 4 games out of the how they're like the teams the play-in. They're 4 games out of that. They're 11-22. They've already won more games than I thought they would, to be quite fucking honest. Already got 11 wins.
That coach, man, he know. And you know what's a fortunate thing that's going to happen? And it's going to be soon enough. He's going to get fired.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And it sucks because I think he could. When he's like, Atkinson. When you see people like this that don't have the best talent, but somehow, some way, they get the best out of the people that are on their team, that says a lot, man. It's just up to the organization to bring players here, and they just haven't done it.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, trying to bring in the big names that didn't work twice. But whatever.
By the way, I am seeing less talk from some of the fan base about tanking, so that conversation's not relevant this year because think about this: the Pacers are 6-30. God damn. The Wizards are 9-25. The Kings are 8-28, and the Pelicans are 8-29. Holy shit, dude! Awful.
It's just an awful product right now.
Really, really bad. Okay, I'm curious about what you guys think about this because the roster now is set, I think, for the most part, for the World Baseball Classic. And I don't think this is anything that we've ever talked about here. And I think the reason why it's relevant, two reasons. One, Aaron Judge, obviously, Yankees. Two, what the hell's his name? McLean and Holmes are both going to be on Team USA. What do they do this every
3 years?
Every 3 years that they do this? That they do the World Baseball Classic. I don't know. I was kind of more into it when it first started, whereas now it's like, I don't really necessarily care. I just don't want these guys getting hurt, like especially McLean. That's like the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the only thing. I don't really care about this shit.
That's the thing that I worry about is McLean getting hurt. And listen, say what you want about Holmes, but they can't afford that guy to get hurt either. So, but Lee J, no.
But this,
WBC
but this also goes to
no
something
for
that
you.
we said before. We complain about these guys only going 5, but you're sending them to this World Baseball Classic to pitch more innings, and then they can't pitch for the team that they're supposed to pitch for during the year. Like I get it. You want to pitch for your country, I understand that. I get it, but I don't know, man. I don't want to say it's stupid. I'm not going to say that. I'm just not interested. I'll just say that.
But they do have the pitchers on pitch counts. They all are.
It's just pitch count or not. It's just like what I say. Do you need 50, 60 pitches before you actually go on the mound to warm up? Those are all unnecessary pitches that you threw.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. Pitch count or not, you're throwing unnecessary pitches. You can find any player from the USA to play on this classic team. And I get it. You want to play for your country, yada, yada, yada. I'll just keep it nice. I'm just not interested.
Yeah.
Eric?
I'm excuse me. I'm kind of interested because I've always, me being Dominican, I take pride in the DR team and stuff like that.
Wait, you're Dominican?
Yeah. Oh, boy. Lee J's more Dominican than me. He's been to DR. He's going to DR again.
You feel me? I'm going to see my people. I hope that same bartender's there. I just don't know his name.
But yeah, I mean, I like watching the games. I like, how the DR team gets into it. The fans go crazy. Same thing with the Puerto Rican team. It's I take pride in it. I like watching. Their lineup is always stacked. But here's a funny thing. So
Soto's going to be on a Team DR. So
yeah, no, their team is ridiculous. Their lineup is insane. I looked at it the other day. Manny Ramirez. They interviewed Manny Ramirez in the offseason, and they asked him, it was like, why the DR, out of all the teams, anytime you look at the DR team, they're always the favorite. Why don't they always win every year? And Manny first, he came out and he said, he's like, because we're not disciplined. He's like, number one. He's like, number one, we're not disciplined. You look at the Japanese team, how disciplined they are, all these other teams, and they're like, we like to party. He's like, we want to go after a game and go party. That's why we don't win. It's great.
The Japanese going to the field, they're like marching.
Yeah.
Like they're in the military.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, don't forget, they won last time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That was the whole thing of what was Shohei versus what the hell's his
Mike
name?
Trout.
Mike Trout. That was, bro, the amount of people that watched that game in Japan, I think they said like 1 out of every 5 households in the country was watching that game. Like it did crazy numbers in Japan.
Yeah.
That finale. So, yeah, I think it's interesting because I care and I don't. I do think it's good for baseball. And I think especially now with as popular as it's gotten, there's been a resurgence, and I'll touch that to get into that for my resolutions. But I do think some countries take it more seriously than we do, than the USA. Like, I think the Dominican takes it more seriously. I think Japan definitely takes it more seriously than we do. Probably Puerto Rico as well. Any of those Latin American teams definitely take it more interesting than the USA does. But, these guys, they do talk about it. There is a, they don't play in the Olympics anymore, right? They don't send major league stars to the Olympics. They never really did. So this is like the next best thing. So, like, I get it. I understand.
Just don't get hurt.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Let's not have an Edwin Diaz. Well, I don't really give a shit about him now, but let's not have an Edwin Diaz type of situation happen here. So, final thing. Have you guys been watching, and Lee J mentioned it before, that you were. You did watch some of these games. Have you guys been watching the college football playoff games? I know
Like
Leach
I said, I
has.
watched
Yeah.
Indiana one against Alabama. Then I watched Oregon, and then I'm a Miami fan, so I watched their game. But that was
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eric?
I've seen a couple of games. The one thing I take away from this bracket, this playoff tournament thing is they try to make it like the NCAA basketball,
Yeah.
where you
it's
have
not.
these Cinderella teams. Bro, there is no way in hell James Madison is beating.
Yes.
There's no way. I mean, I like the idea. I like the concept, but they have to come up with something different to make it more. I mean, Tulane got smashed by Ole Miss. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah, it's like, come on, man. You
Yeah,
got to
it's
come
just-
up with a
it's
better
not,
concept.
It's not bad. It's not basketball.
It's not basketball. No, it's not.
Where a lot more upsets happen, but this can't happen in football.
Mhm.
I think the interesting thing that's come because I've basically what I've done what I did was I had the games on the second TV while I was either playing a video game or trying to fucking get through everything of Stranger Things. So I had the games on the side, and I did. There was some good football played in some of those games. I do think the most interesting, and I agree with Leachy about Fernanda. What's his last name?
Fernando.
Just
Fernando
Mendoza. I do agree that he wasn't like, whatever. I do think the interesting thing to come out of this whole thing has been a chatter about the SEC, and maybe Eric can talk to this more because he lives in SEC country. But there's been there was everybody was a sore loser when Indiana beat Alabama, right? And somebody was saying, "Oh, if you play that game 9 out of 10 times, Alabama wins."
Give me a break.
You sure about that?
I'm tired of these.
Bro, I'm telling you, out here.
God, and like they say, if my aunt had nuts, she'd be my uncle. Like, God, my God, man, who cares? They lost. That's it. They didn't just.
That's what a
lose, they got
tournament is. Yeah,
right.
That's what a
They got
tournament
destroyed.
is. Yeah.
They got
bro,
whipped, man.
I tell you, out here, it's like it's the SEC and everybody else. It's like
right. Yes.
People like, and I laugh because the Big Ten whooped their ass this year, and nobody says anything about that because over here is SEC is like the king. But yeah, I'm happy that SEC got drilled. This Ole Miss is still in it, but Ole Miss is not that team that they always think of, like a LSU or Georgia, or Auburn, guys like
Alabama.
that. Or Alabama. Yeah, so I'm happy they got drilled.
Yeah, I think that the question was how many teams they had. How many teams in the playoffs this year? SEC?
12, right? Oh no, the SEC.
Like 5 or 6, right?
Let me see. I'm looking at Alabama, Ole Miss, Georgia, Texas A&M. No, are they? I can't remember there.
I'm not looking at a bracket. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head.
Yeah, I'm looking at the bracket now. I don't.
Texas A&M, are they in the SEC now?
I think they are. Yeah.
They are. Yeah, they're in the SEC. Yeah.
Yep.
So what is that? How many is?
So that's 4, I think.
That's 4 right there.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I know there was a lot of chatter going around about, we should have had. I think the SEC commissioner said something about, we should have had more teams, and it's like, bro,
do your own tournament then. What the hell? Out of here.
Seriously. Yeah, I think, Eric, to your point, I think there still needs to be improvement in the way that they do this whole situation. And I'm not just saying that because of the whole thing what happened with Notre Dame. That's not it. It's just that I still don't think the best teams are getting in. Mm. By the way, the Pop-Tart Bowl, 8.9 million viewers. It's the best so far of the non-playoff games as far as like audience is concerned. So that thing is going to continue for as fucking ridiculous as it looks. When they're showing the highlights.
I got an idea. Why don't college football just call it, March Madness and put 64 football teams in it?
Hey, they do that in the lower levels.
Christ.
No, but listen, and I've always advocated for this. The NCAA Division II and Division III, there's like 30 teams that make the playoffs.
I just think Division II and Division III is a different animal when you talk about stuff like that. some of these teams like Tulane and Jane Madison, to Eric's point earlier, they're going to make it and they're just going to get destroyed.
Right.
Division 2, Division 3, they're going to have better competition against each other.
Right. But I think for me the point is I don't think those JMU and whatever Tulane make it because Notre Dame's in it. And other teams that might have finished high as far as like records are concerned would have made it in instead of the JMUs of the world and Tulane's
I definitely would never want to see something like that. I think I would actually stop watching college football if I ever saw that.
You imagine the NIL money after that?
I think that they are going to add more teams. I think it's going to get bigger.
No, they'll eventually add teams, but I hope it's never what my joke was.
Oh, I don't think it'll be that much. No. But I can see them. How many is it now? 12? I can see them doing like 16 to 18.
I just think that this is... Anyway. I don't even want to see more teams than what it is now, but whatever. It is what it is.
All right. Final segment of the first episode of 2026. And again, Lee J and I did this last year, so hopefully this becomes a yearly tradition for as long as this podcast is going on, where we pick 3 New Year's sports resolutions. Now, this can be either related to the team that you root for or something in general that you want to see yourself or something personal. So, we each have 3 resolutions, and let me just bring up mine. I will go with Lee J first for your first one here. It doesn't matter what order, whatever one you want to talk about. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Mets need more pitchers and players. I don't know if anyone has seen that. Number 2, I need Splinter to die.
Splinter?
Yeah, Ratatouille.
Oh,
Stearns.
I need him to get the hell out of here. He's upsetting me, and he's doing nothing for
Wait,
my
is that
team.
your second one overall?
No,
or
I'm just saying something. You said 3.
Okay.
That's 2.
Yeah,
they're related.
No. 3.
There's no order. I'm just spitting them out. I just said 2 because it's the second thing I said.
Oh, okay.
And I want to see a parade. I'm not touching the money, but I want to see a parade. And I God hope he's hearing me right now, or whoever's hearing me. I want to go to a Knicks parade. I want to see the Knicks win a championship. Because right now, that might be the only closest thing that we have right now to win a championship.
Well, not for me, but whatever.
So that'll be not for you. We don't want you there anyway.
I don't know. Mom Donnie might not let a parade happen now.
He could do whatever he wants. We're still gonna party. We don't need him.
Party right in front of his house.
We're gonna turn this city upside down if that was to ever happen. We don't need his approval. And that's it.
Eric, what are your 3?
So the one for me is to, and you guys are gonna laugh about this, is not get upset over the constant Instagram post about the Mets being linked to signing a player.
That's your thing.
Too late.
I mean, this thing is driving me insane, bro. It's at a point where I see a Mets logo and I just keep scrolling.
I just ignore that stuff, bro.
Yeah.
I've gotten better at ignoring it. You just can't feed into that shit.
You can't.
Because you could just might as well, like you said, you might as well just link them to everybody.
Yeah, exactly. My second is Francisco Lindor. How about fitting in something else besides fashion when it comes to the offseason, bro? I stopped following him because it was like,
oh, really?
Bro, everything
he said that. He sent that to. He told us.
Oh,
that.
I don't remember that. Okay,
bro, everything he posts is about fashion. GQ this, that. Wearing bell bottoms here. Get the hell out of here with this crap.
You know what's funny about that? You know what's that funny? Real quick, because Eric's saying that because I know it bothers him. If this was anybody else, they would be getting their balls busted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine if Alonso was still here and he was just into the fashion thing. Oh, this is the reason why he's got to go and ba ba ba. That's why sometimes the narrative sucks on who they want to create it for.
Yep, I agree. And my third is lockstep with Lee J. Knicks win a championship. Hoping for that. I'll
pay for your fucking ticket to come down here.
It'll save New York from the doldrums that we've been in.
Oh my god. Okay, this one is somewhat related in some way to the doldrums, and I kind of cheated, but I just want to see the teams that I root for make a serious commitment to winning and stop throwing out lip service, especially when it comes to the Mets and the Giants and the Nets to a lesser extent. Because I will tell you this, and this is apropos for today because of what we heard about Shane. I'm having a hard time right now taking the Mets and Giants seriously at this point. And it's mostly because it's ownership. They talk out both sides of their fucking mouth. Both Cohen for the Mets and then Mara and Tish for the Giants. Show me you're serious about winning. Please. Please do me that favor. That's number one. Number two, MLB, MLPA, figure this shit out. And figure it out before the end of the year. Because baseball is popular again. And I think the worst thing that can happen is them doing some kind of work stoppage. Last year, you saw that the viewership was up, attendance was up across the board. That's probably going to lead into more interest for WBC. So I just want to see that these two groups come together and get this shit done sooner rather than later. Figure it out. Figure it the fuck out. Number three, my go-to NCAA, especially after that shit that Eric sent us today with the guy giving the 7th year of eligibility. Between what this guy said, not Patino,
Calipari.
the other idiot, Calipari. Between this guy from Baylor that's playing now, between this insane thing that people put out about fucking LeBron and Bronny going, like, what are we doing here? Like, that should not even be a fucking conversation. Figure it out.
I already started stretching to go back to my community college.
Yeah, man.
Maybe I could get 1.7.
I'm gonna go back to St. John, see if I got some
Fuck it.
eligibility.
I started stretching last night.
But yeah, as an addition to that, the betting stuff as well. They got to get that shit under control. That goes for college and the pros. So,
tying into that real quick, did you guys hear about Lane Kiffin? You know how he bounced Ole Miss, went to LSU.
Right. Yes.
In his contract with Ole Miss, he had bonuses. So if he made the playoffs,
oh yeah, he got paid that. He got
a bonus.
Yes.
So LSU is paying him that. LSU is like, no, we got you, $500,000 every time they reach another round.
Every time Ole Miss reaches.
Yep.
Yes.
That is so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Man.
Like what the fuck?
College sports is broken, bro. I'm telling you.
It is.
They probably came off the rip, said, "Yo, we want you come. Whatever they do, we'll pay you for because we know they're not going to pay you because you're part of the reason why they're moving forward."
Yeah.
Just to get you.
And now all their coaches are bounced. You heard that too?
Yeah, right.
All their coaches are right at LSU, so now Ole Miss is left with no coaches now.
Well, this is the thing that Saban said. Did you guys see this about?
Yeah.
I think we talked about it. That this whole transfer period should start in like April or May. This way that this shit doesn't happen, and it's exactly what I said. I said, why does this have to happen January 5th today? Like, why does this have to happen so soon?
Yep.
Take your time. At the very least, wait until February 1st when this is all over with the college football stuff. I don't know. Eric, I agree, man. Like, the NCAA is so fucking broken right now. Between the nil shit and the transfer portal stuff, what was it? 4,000 players in the portal.
Crazy.
It's just like, what are we doing here
in the portal? Like they're fucking going from one time zone to another.
Stranger Things portal.
Yeah, exactly.
Holy shit, bro.
Ay.
All right. That's going to do it for us for the first episode of 2026. We hope you enjoyed it. Again, just a reminder, do us a solid when you start seeing those clips on social media. please like, even share it if you can, and tell a friend. Tell a friend about us. I think the misconception, because I was having a conversation quickly, and I'll see what you guys think about this. I think there's the misconception that because we are quote unquote New York first, that other people will not enjoy it that are not living in New York. But I think Luke can attest to this. That he lives in Nebraska. He follows all these Chicago teams, but yet he listens to us every single week because he enjoys the banter between us. So if you think you're going to share this with somebody that does not listen, like doesn't care about New York sports, I don't think that matters because I think we do a good enough job of talking about a little bit of everything. So
Is he
I don't know
from
if you guys have
Nebraska or
any
he
thoughts
moved
about
there?
that.
He moved there from Chicago. Or
Yes,
is
he
from
moved
Nebraska?
there from Nebraska. That's a great question, Luke. You have to let me know about that. I think he went to Nebraska University, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that.
Listen, next week we start talking about the Cornhuskers.
Yeah, there you go.
So real quick,
Yes.
Stefanski got 3 interviews coming up: Falcons, Giants, and Titans. But I
Look
don't
at
know if
that.
that's any particular order,
There we go.
Look at that.
as reported by Adam Schefter.
Interesting. Right, here we go. It's starting, baby. Maybe maybe there might be a breaking news podcast this week. We'll see. Anyway, I'm Will Hernandez here for Mr. Lee J. Perilla and Mr. Eric Pimentel, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace out, everyone.
Later.
See ya.